This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, ho there, it's Jeff Gunnar. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today on February the 13th is a Duke icon. He's helped his college basketball team become one of the greatest college programs of all time. He was Duke's coach from 1980 to 2022, 42 years, or 5 years longer than I've been on this earth. He helped Duke win 5 national titles, 13 Final Fours, 15 ACC titles, and 13 regular season ACC titles. Only John Wooden has won more NCAA championships with 10. Can you believe it? He even coached the U.S. national team in the 08, 12, and 16 Olympics, winning gold medals all 3 times. Also helped the U.S. in the World Cup of basketball win twice, and was even assistant coach for the Dream Team at the Olympics in '92, and even played in the NCAA. This guy is amazing. He was part of the College Basketball Hall of Fame since 2006 and the Naismith Hall of Fame since 2010. He is the coach with the most wins in NCAA basketball history, breaking Bob Knight's record, and even got to 1,000 wins. He is Mike Krzyzewski, spelled K-R-Z-Y-Z-E-W-S-K-I. When I went to get the information about Coach K, I wrote Coach K down and all that. I also got to realize that I made a mistake. When I did my on this day yesterday about the Canada Olympic thing, I did not talk about Bob Costas and the fact that The Simpsons did an Olympics-themed episode around the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. My overall opinion was pretty cool and all that. Homer Simpson was right about the fact about Vancouver being the warmest city in Canada in February. He got that right. And yeah, it was mixed curling. And Bob Costas stupidly thought that US's gold medal, well, Homer March's gold medal, counted in the Olympic medal standings. They don't. But anyway, let's go with Coach K. Sorry for the late, but I just realized my mistake. I'm like, whoops. Anyway, Coach K was born in Chicago, the son of Polish-American parents. It's got to be Polish because that spelling is ugly. I can't do it. Anyway, he went to West Point at the U.S. Army Academy, and he played basketball under the legendary Bob Knight, who would soon be Indiana's coach and cause trouble. But anyhow, he helped Army take 4th place in the National Invitational Tournament, the NIT tournament, MSG, which is basically the sister tournament to the NCAA Final Four, if you will. So anyway, Coach K was an officer in the U.S. Army and did some stuff. He was actually given a Distinguished Graduate Award in 2005. He was discharged from active duty in 1974 with the rank of captain and started becoming an assistant under Bob Knight during their 1975 season. However, after one season in Indiana, he went to West Point to be their head coach. At age 28, can you imagine? At age 28, for me, I was starting my target job. Anyway, in 5 seasons, he helped Army get to the NIT in 1978 and won 73 games. Not half bad. And then Duke was looking for a new head coach, and guess what? Coach K got it. So after 5 years at Army, Coach K is now Duke's head coach. He would rebuild Duke, and it worked out because he had a streak of 35 NCAA tournament bids in 36 years, or basically 24 straight from 96 to 2019. That's actually the second highest mark behind Kansas, who had a 30-year streak. He's won 100 games evenly in the NCAA tournament, which is the highest ever, and been to the Final Fours or the semifinals 12 times, winning 5 titles. So that's not bad. That's just under 50%. So anyway, it was just like huge and all that. Coach K got his 1,000th game as Duke head coach in 2010. And in 2011, he won his 900th game during the NCAA tournament, becoming the second head coach to get to 900 wins. behind Bob Knight, and then joined by Jim Boeheim of Syracuse. Coach K on November 15, 2011, beat Bob Knight's record with his 903 wins and all of that. And it was weird because, Coach K and Knight actually were twice under each other. Knight was the head coach of Army's basketball team when Coach K was an active player, and then, Coach K for 1 year was the assistant to Knight in Indiana. January 25th, 2015, Duke beat St. John's to win his 1,000th game. And in 2015, he won his 5th national title. So anyway, he did his job and all that. After the 2021 season, he decided to retire. He said he would retire at the end of the 2022 season. And, it was shocking that Duke shocked a lot of people by getting to the Final Four last year. But Duke lost to North Carolina. It was funny how Duke and North Carolina bumped into each other in the Final Four. So his career ends with 1,129 wins and 309 losses, which is amazing. Like, that's almost 4 wins for every loss. But yeah, Coach K was basically a head coach for the Americans in the World Championships and the Olympics. It was just amazing what he could do with the national team. So there were 5 chances for Coach K to jump ship to the NBA. Boston gave a chance by 1990 after leading Duke to the Final Four, but he declined. Portland pursued him in 94, but he chose to stay at Duke. 2004, the Lakers wanted him to be there after Phil Jackson left. And shockingly, he turned down a 5-year, $40 million contract and part ownership. New Jersey were willing to pay, the Nets were willing in 2010 to pay him between $12 and $15 million to coach the Nets. Declined. 2011, Minnesota offered a chance, but he declined. So yeah, so won 5 NBA titles, 91, 92, 01, 10, and 15. Those 91 and 92 squads were great and all that. 92 was the season that I believe they went wire to wire as number 1 in 92. I can't remember. But anyway, it was huge. Christian Laettner's shot to eliminate Kentucky. And I mean, it was just amazing what they did. And the 91-92 Duke squads were the last team until Florida did it in 2007 to actually repeat as champions. We won the title in 2001, 2010, and 2015. So, yeah, great job by him. Lots of accolades and all that. He's in the Hall of Fame in both college and pro. Anyway, he married his wife, Carol Marsh, on the day of his graduation from West Point. They would have 3 daughters and 10 grandchildren. So that would be amazing and all that. Coach K had a ruptured disc during the 94-95 season and almost retired, but, it was huge. Coach K's grandson, Michael Savarino, was a walk-on for Duke for the 2020 season. So they've been big helpers in Durham, North Carolina, where Duke is from. So, yeah, great years and all that. I mean, dude, this guy was just amazing and all that. Duke definitely would have been a top-tier team if it wasn't for the pandemic. 2021, they were just putrid. And then he led them to a 32-7 mark in his final season and almost got to the final. So Coach K has a big coaching tree. Pete Gaudette with Army, Bob Bender for Washington, Mike Brey for Notre Dame, where he's been since 2000. Wow. Tommy Amaker. For years he was with Michigan, and then he's been at Harvard since 2007. Quinn Snyder for Utah for the Jazz. Jeff Capel for FCU in Oklahoma. Johnny Dawkins, former player under Coach K's tutelage. He's been with Stanford and UCF. Bobby Hurley, another former Dookie for Buffalo and Arizona State. and of course the Duke head coach John Shire. So it's just like amazing what Coach K had done and all that. He's an icon. He's a legend. And even though I sometimes cheer for North Carolina, can't lie, he proved me wrong with Duke being North Carolina time and time again and pissing me off in the process. But what do I know? Anyway, I'm jumped. I'm going to do